What's up, Dragon Brood? So today we're going to be talking about Mardu Humans. Ikoria brought a lot of humans to the table. We put out a list a couple weeks ago. Not even a couple weeks. I guess it's only been like 10 or 12 days. Like, it's amazing how fast Standard's moving. But anyway, we have a new version that we've been messing around with. So we'll go over that real quick. I'll take you through some gameplay videos, and then I'll give you my updated list at the end of the video as well, with a couple of tips and reasons why. So we have a lot of stuff going on today. We're trying a new format for the video. We will see how it goes. But remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and we'll get into it. Okay, so starting off here, we're playing Venerable Knight. We were going a full set of 4 for a while, but now we're down to 3. Mostly because as you run into more of the sacrifice decks, they can kind of block and kill this all the time. So it's a little bit better whenever you're getting to play against some slower control decks. You can get some early damage in. Not necessarily a thing you can do against some matchups, so we scaled it down a little bit. Still rocking the full set of Fervent Champions because cards just dang good, so why not? Playing one Dranith Magistrate just because there are so many things trying to play stuff out of the graveyard. Wanted to kind of take that option away if we could. Hero Precinct 1. This one's one we kind of dabbled on. We tried a Knight version that had the Worthy Knight in there to get extra tokens. Now we're back to Hero Precinct 1 just because there's just more opportunity, and just having them be regular humans is just fine. Still get pumped by our other cards. General's Enforcer. This is one of the better 2 mana cards that you just have access to. It's a 2/3, it's 2 mana. You can use it to remove things out of the graveyard, which is great against the sacrifice list. If they have a sweeper, it protects your other couple of legendary creatures that we're playing. So it's got a couple of different uses for 2 mana. It's super strong. Stormfish Crusader. Even back when I was playing the Rakdos Knights, I was a big fan of this card. It's hard to block, it's consistent damage, it's bonus cards. Doing a lot of work for 2 mana. Like, I'm not even sure which is better, if it's this or the General's Enforcer is the best 2 mana creature in the deck. Going with Inspiring Veteran here. We're playing enough Knights that we have the option to get an extra +1/+1 at some spots. The only downside is occasionally it's just a 2/2 Grizzly Bear for the most part, but there's often it is worth 2 or 3 extra damage during each attack step, and sometimes that's just worth it. Dire Tactics. Still the best removal card we can play in this deck. It removes any creature just straight up. You almost always have a human on the table, so there's no damage, no downside. And it's almost no penalty, really, for the cost. I mean, occasionally the colors matter, but that's about it. The card's very good. Then our 2 3-mana spells that we're playing are General Kudro, who turns out does a whole lot. I mean, it's removing creatures from graveyards, which is great for obvious reasons. I've used the ability, especially if you have Hero Precinct 1 on the table, you can sack tokens to kill big creatures. And then, of course, just pumping all your other creatures. So, very, very good and versatile card for 3 mana. Then Judith, obviously getting the +1 to your attackers is great. Also gives you a little bit of protection toward in-game status whenever they're going to sweep the board. You can play that out, and if they sweep the board, they're still going to take oftentimes 4 or 6 damage, and you can clean up the next turn to kill them. So definitely a card you just want to have in here just from the attack bonus alone. Lands, nothing too special. We got 5 plains, 3 swamps, a mountain, some godless shrines, blood crypts, sacred foundries, and 3 triomes. So that's what we're going to go into battle with today. I'll show you the videos, and then, like I said, at the end we'll wrap up and talk about what changes I would make based on the footage. I also don't know if our mana is totally right in this either, so kind of guessing a little bit on that. We'll keep this. This is fairly reasonable. And depending on what we're against, this could randomly be useful. Our one of, our fun of, as we call it sometimes. I was wondering what I was going to do if I drew that. Gosh dang it. We're playing green as a base. Problem is, that tells me nothing. So here's the plan. If we don't draw a red land, then we'll just do hero, hero, then Judith. Oh, are they playing a mono green deck? Well, this could get interesting. This was unexpected. Or maybe it's the green-white enchantment list? Nope. Alright, I have no idea what the opponent's doing. I'm at a genuine loss. And that is a good card to have, but does not particularly offer to you. Still willing to attack with this. I mean, they can just cast a 6 mana whatever this turn, so, I mean, we can get blown out by a lot of things. Fiend of Folios, what? Each player draws X. Each opponent puts a number of cards equal to a number of cards in their hand from the top of the library. Okay, then. Yeah, that's a thing. Wow. Okay. I think we just have to put the opponent under pressure since we don't know what they're doing, and I'm willing to put these heroes at risk to die. Because we can play the general behind them. I mean, feel free to block the heroes. We don't even mind. Oh, the opponent was willing to take 9 there? Okay, they must have something savage this turn. So even if our creatures just die, that's 6 damage on the table already. Give me a whisper with the menace list. Alright, cool. I will put that in the back pocket because it's so weird. I mean, all we really saw was just a Fiend of Folios, a bunch of land, and 2 Paradise Druids. So, I don't know what that means. Alright, well, we'll see if this starts like last game. Another Paradise Druid. Yep. Alright, well, they're going to have their mana. That is for sure. I mean, I think I'm still going to be willing to run a Hero Precinct run into a Paradise Druid, and if they just want to trade the Prison Reef deck with Fiend of Folios? Alrighty. I will take your word for that, opponent. We're going to hope to draw a land to take advantage of the other Hero Precinct 1 we have. Interestingly, the opponent didn't draw a land off the top. Doesn't mean they don't have it in hand, though. Okay. Wilderness Reclamation. Oh boy. Man, this deck's wild. I mean, we can cast a Dire Tactics if need be. Sure. I mean, I guess we attack. Wow, they're not doing anything? Alright, well, we needed a land pretty badly there. The opponent untapped didn't do anything with all that mana. Like, what does this deck even do? Alright, there's another Risen Reef. Sure. Incubation Druid. Okay. Still not sure I completely understand what's happening here. I mean, they didn't play an instant last time, so I mean, I guess we just don't want them to have the mana to make a big Incubation Druid. I mean, if they got something else, they got something else. I mean, nothing we can do about it. Nope, we can't cast Judith, so that's no good for us. We're just gonna attack with all these things. I'm not really sure what else to do here. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand, and they didn't seem to do much of anything else with them. Sure. I'll try this, I guess. I mean, bare minimum, we get another token. Sure. You can erasure that all you want. We got stuck at 3 land and didn't even find a red land, and we might still win this. Which is kind of silly, really, when you think about it. Like, yeah. I don't even know what the opponent's deck was doing there. That was so weird. All right, Lefty Chives. Let's see what you've got. Kind of a cool username, too. I gotta admit. I do enjoy fun names. So Lefty Chives is taking a long time to decide if they want to play first. I wonder if they're even at their machine. I don't know. I think the red deck does just fine with Obosh. Oh boy. If I knew there was a white land on top, I would keep this. But we don't, so I'm gonna mulligan. This is significantly better. Let's keep this and get rid of the... Swamp? Let's see. Turn 1, I can put the black-red land into play. Yeah, we'll do that. Just figuring out how I can minimize damage. Not that it matters, because I'll draw like a Fervent Champ here and it'll just change everything. Oh, we did. Because that would have been my thing, is like, oh well. I thought my list might have had 1 each. Like 1 in the deck and 1 in the slot, companion slot. But I don't remember if that's true or not. I've slept a few times since I made that list, so I couldn't tell you. But 1 and 1 seems totally fine, especially when you're talking about how other lists previously played, like 4 Torbrains and 4 Embercleaves. Like, you could probably get by playing 2 Obosh main and 1 companion, probably, if I were just guessing. This is weird. Let's go with this. This is probably going to be tough for us to beat with our opponent on the play. Especially if they have 2 spells here, in all reality. Like, that could be real bad. Okay, they're just straight up playing removal on their turn to try to get us. Can respect that. That's actually a reasonable card to have here. Got a quench. Boo to that. Okay. Sure. Alright, give us a land. Oh, well, at least it's a spell we can cast. Venerable Knight? See how badly they want to counter. Alright, well sadly that means I have a spell counter. And this is probably not going to work. Well, when they go to draw a card. Oh, they're trying to cut through again. Okay, sure. Yeah, we desperately needed a second land so we could get 2 spells down. Not being able to is definitely going to be the death of us. Because at 7, I don't think we're going to be able to race fast enough to do anything. Unless the opponent just bricks and draws lands for at least the next 2 of the next 3 cards. Yeah, Weaponize the Monsters is great. See, like, I wouldn't play it in Winota because that's just like a waste of mana. That's not what that deck's trying to do. Winota wants to smack you, and then 2 or 3 creatures come into play and either end the game or put you really close to ending the game. I think trying to spend time playing other things that don't attack or let you sack stuff is like not what that deck needs to be doing. You need a 1-drop and it creates a huge amount of tokens. I would just focus on pumping the tokens then. Alright, we'll go first with this. If you told jokes as well as you made excuses. Oh no, like my jokes are definitely much worse than my excuses. I think we've established that already. Alright, so here I think just for mana efficiency's sake, we're going to try to play a Judith, expecting the opponent to counter here. If they don't, and they just want to play their 2-1 to block our hero, we're okay with that too. We're willing to make that trade. Yep, they weren't about it. An interesting thing you can do too is if you need to get some damage in or get some stuff out of the way, you can actually Judith and then have your other one die, which creates 2 triggers, and then you could actually shoot some stuff down. It's kind of an underutilized thing you can do. Heartless act my Judith. Oh man, you're gonna hate what I do next. I mean, you gotta block the hero precinct 1, right? Like, if you're gonna block, nothing else makes sense. Okay, I mean, they really want to hold on to this Briarborn Cutthroat for some unknown reason. I feel like this is just where we go to game 3. Nope, the opponent says they got something to say about this. Alright, I'm going to try to bait them into a spell first here. I mean, they're really in bad shape, actually, because even if I play the general and they counter it, then they're dead. If they play Judith, or kill Judith, then that doesn't do anything. Because now I was gonna say we just shoot the Spectral Sailor for 1. But now you block 1, 2, 3, take 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one of the things you block dies. Yeah, I'll just do this and just end it. Those are all real. I would like to keep this because we have a Stormfist Crusader, but well, this isn't significantly better. But we do have more creatures here. I would have liked to have had the removal spell, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. So the plan here is going to be get rid of one of these. Alright, we didn't get a Fervent Champ. That would have been nice. We have to go Fervent Champ, Inspiring Veteran, Inspiring Veteran. But we missed. Let's try this. Heartless Act incoming. Or a Cutthroat, and then kill it next turn. I don't know. Nope, it's Heartless Act. Okay. Well, this actually isn't bad for us. We definitely have more creatures than the opponent, so if this is where things are, we're actually okay with this. Because, I mean, sure, they have spell counters and stuff, but, like, at some point, if you're not producing a threat, especially now that we have Dire Tactics. Alright. Probably another dead veteran, the way this is going. Yep, that's what I thought. I mean, the reality is, though, the opponent's deck is technically still an aggressive deck, just happens to have counters as backup and whatnot. What do you need 4 mana for? We don't like that. Why does the opponent want 4 mana? Alright, I'm just going to attack with the Venerable Knight. I feel like that's a combination of spell counter plus Briarborn Cutthroat. Or Briarborn plus, like, Omen of the Sea. Oh, Sea Dasher Octopus. No, we don't like that either. I mean, there's other things, but them getting cards right now would be real bad for us. So we definitely don't like that. Alright, there's an Omen. Uh-oh. Oh, this is either a counter or a Briarborn Cutthroat. I am fine with it being either one of those. Because if it's a quench, we can pay for it. If it's another Heartless Act, oh well. Like, that makes it that much closer to being good for our system. Okay, there's the man, the myth, the legend. We knew that was coming. And they didn't play a land. Those are definitely business cards in their hand, and we're giving them another one. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're taking some damage I don't want to take here, but it's probably the right answer. Alright. Here comes a real spell counter, I'm sure. If it's just quench, we don't mind. I mean, I doubt it matters, but Heartless Act does kill, like, Stormfist Crusader, and the other one doesn't. Alright, so, because there's a chance to actually have a removal card, I am not going to send in the Fervent Champ here. Sea Dasher, okay. And then pump it up again. Okay. So then we can sacrifice... Is it other humans? No, it's just 2 humans. Great. He is a human. That works out nicely. Yep. We will sacrifice this little guy and this guy. And I will put the counter on the first. That worked out pretty well. So we effectively like 3 for 2'd. Because they had to get their Briarborn Cutthroat bigger, then target our general. Yeah, we'll attack with both of these and see what happens. General's Enforcer. Which is a pretty good card here, because now we can just remove stuff from the opponent's yard. Start turning those into 1/1s. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here. We're just going to end the turn, because I want to have all 4 mana to be able to use this Enforcer for it. Slitherwisp. We ain't even worried about that guy. Your Slitherwisp is inconsequential. We will take Sea Dasher. Yeah, this General's Enforcer is a lot of value for a 2-mana card. It's a 2/3. It protects your legendary creatures. It removes stuff from graveyards. Like, it does a lot of work. Alright, so let's assume the opponent has a haste creature. They can at least block, take 1, take 3, be at 1. Yeah, we're fine with that. Like, we'll just accept that. I mean, they're saying good game, but, like, I don't know. I mean, they're still... I mean, that could be Spectral Sailor plus Dude. I mean, that's not necessarily game. I mean, I always feel bad, because I know when the opponent says good game, they want you to say good game back, but it's just like, I don't know, man. You could have a lot of things. Yeah, like, this isn't game over here. Exactly. See, this is exactly what I was saying. Like, that's why when opponents are like GG's, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, this isn't. These things do not mean this is over. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I've already played a land for the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1. Yep, that's what we need. I mean, maybe he's going to win. I don't know, but like I said, I feel bad because when people do that, I feel like I'm not being courteous and saying good game back, but it's like I can see a lot of scenarios where the game's not over. And I don't want to be a person, they're like GG's, and you're like GG, and then like 2 turns later I lose, and I'm like, well, you know. Because I mean, even now, if they have like flash creature, exactly, and then they draw into something that's a kill card, and they draw into another thing, it's like, well, maybe they're still in there. I mean, admittedly, they're at 2, so it's not a great scenario for them. But I don't know. If that's a Spectral Sailor on the last card, they have enough blockers to not die. Oh, they know, because they have Brazen Bar. Never mind. They'll be able to block 3 things, and then they'll be dead. Well, they'll die from just a Stormfist Crusader, really. Okay, now it's GG's. Oh, and a Dire Tactics just for sport. Yep. Alright. We managed to get there. I thought that was going to be harder for us. Okay, those are some pretty fun games. Learned a lot. Had fun with that on stream. As you can probably tell from the conversation, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on in those games. But we came to a new version at the end of all that, and some changes that I think are pretty needed. So where we're at currently is we're at 3 Venerable Knights, 4 Fervent Champs. That's staying the same, not changing there at all. Still playing the Hero Precinct ones. Most of this is going to look the same. However, you notice there's only 1 Inspiring Veteran. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we're thinking about just removing the Inspiring Veteran altogether. Mostly so we can play 3 Lava Brink Venturer. The reason is the Lava Brink Venturer can end up in a situation where it's very hard to remove, especially if you know what removal card your opponent has, or even against the sacrifice decks. There's a lot of times where you can call odd, and that's going to protect you from the majority of their stuff. They're going to have something like maybe Priest of Forgotten Gods, you know, but everything else is going to be a lot of 3s when you're talking about Woe Strider, Luris, a bunch of 1s, honestly, tons of stuff in that deck is 1 mana. So in those matchups, this is going to be a key card. Granted, that doesn't make it susceptible to something like Heartless Act if they're playing that. Some decks aren't. Several don't even have any spot removal main decks, so that's a thing. But it gives you just that extra versatility to punch through, which is very good. And they can't steal it with Claim the Firstborn, which is huge in those matchups. So thinking about just going to 3 of those, cutting the Inspiring Veterans. The other thing we're looking at too is we're playing 2 of the Luminous Broodmoth, or Mothra, if you will. I don't have the other frames yet, but I want some. Anyway, this card actually allows you to get some extra tricky damage here, in the sense that when you play something like Judith, if they were to sweep the board, you get all, or you just get into a big combat battle, you get all those cards back, and then you get them back into play to be able to do it again. So that can be huge on its own. It's also, now that we're playing Luminous Broodmoth, I've considered even playing something like Tithe Taker. So when it dies, you get a token, and then you possibly get additional tokens. So there's a lot of options, I think, with the Moth being in the list. Now, if we're going to talk about the sideboard, we are doing a few different things here. We're playing 2 Light of Hope, 3 Grafdigger's Cage, 3 Devout Decree, 1 Hushbringer, 3 Agonizing Remorse, 1 Heartless Act, and 2 Unbreakable Formation. Can't really see that there behind there. Okay, 2 Unbreakable Formation. So one of the things we're talking about is possibly removing the Heartless Act and just making it 2 Hushbringers, at the very least. If we don't play Hushbringers, they're probably going to be Tithe Takers. And I would say it's just a matter of what your format is. If you're playing against a bunch of flash decks, a bunch of counterspell things, Simic Flash, like, go ahead and just play Tithe Taker and find a way to get 3 into the sideboard. If you're not, and you're playing against more sacrifice decks that have come into play triggers and whatnot, then we're just going to want to head and play those Devout Decrees. The Hushbringers. Plus, the Hushbringers actually fly and gain life, which is another thing you can bring in if you're in a format or in an environment that's full of red decks as well. So that's another option you have available to you. But anyway, hope you liked the video. Trying a different format. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like seeing the deck, then the games than the update, we could do that. I think that's totally fine, something we could do easily. If not, you like the old format of just getting the deck and me getting the hell out of here, well, then we can do that too. Up to y'all. Just let me know. Like I said, give me comments down below. And again, like this video to help me out. And remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. That's all we have for today. We will see you next time.